Welcome to Subatomic Workshop. Today I'm making Harry Potter wand Christmas tree ornaments for my wife. I found these sticks in the backyard and will be using them. I have no idea what they belong to, but I'm assuming any branch or stick will work. And here I am just cutting off any excess waste down to the length that I want to use for the wand. And on this wand I did make a score line to stop at with the Dremel to keep the line between the handle and the wand as clean as possible. Here I am dremeling off the bark on the end that is not the handle. I finished up removing as much material as I needed off camera. And here I am going in the opposite direction that I was before, and this is going around this score line to keep it straight between the two. And here I'm just cleaning up the end of the handle. This is the side that'll face up, so just trying to keep it a little smooth. I did end up going through varying grits of sandpaper to smooth it out. The drum on the Dremel is a 60 grit. Then I hand sanded with a 120 and a 220 grit to get it to the final smoothness that I wanted. I used a Minwax dark walnut wood stain to darken up the wood. The container does say to leave it on for 5 to 15 minutes, and I only left it on for 2 or 3 minutes as I didn't want it too dark. I did end up wanting the handle darker, so I did apply a second coat, and it's not quite as dark as I wanted, but it should be fine for this. Um, the the hole I also drilled off camera, and for the 2 millimeter necklace cord that I'm using, I ended up using a 3 and 32 inch bit. And here you can see I'm just wiping it off. The first coat, and this picture is with the second coat on there, so it's a little bit of a darker handle. And here I hung it up using a Harbor Freight clamp. Just put fishing line through the hole in the wand, then through the clamp, and then put it under the clamp. Easy way to get it clamped up. And I did use a Minwax polyacrylic spray, but it ended up being a little too glossy and didn't like it. And I'm not 100% sure why I filmed and edited in me putting in a knot. Um, I'm sure everybody can do this, but I had already put it in, so here you go. So that wand is now finished, and here's another way to, try to sand down some sticks if you don't have a Dremel. Um, as long as the handle end fits into the chuck of a drill, you can tape down some sandpaper and then go from there, sanding it down. It does take a little bit of time, it is a little wobbly, but it will get the job done. And another way is if you don't have a place to tape any sandpaper down, you can hold the sandpaper in your hand. Just be very careful as it does get very hot. And here is another attempt I made at changing up a little bit, give it some darker spots, was burning it with a propane torch. Um, it didn't come out really good. As soon as you applied any stain to it, it pretty much just looked the same throughout. And so here I'm showing all of them. All of them that don't have the cord through them are done with a Krylon matte finish. This one is the first one, which I used the polyacrylic, and it's just too glossy for me, so I ended up going with the matte. They didn't quite turn out as well as I had hoped, You can always add some pieces like engravings or gluing on pieces to make them a little bit more Harry Potter-ish. This was just, they're supposed to just look like wands, so they're good enough to hang on the tree, I think. And here they are hanging on the tree. And I do know my camera and my lighting sucks. I am working on that for future projects. Thank you very much for watching. Any comments, please leave them below. Thank you.